Welcome to the Spicy Spotlight. Joining us today, we have James from the Dickinson Press and Sheriff Corey Lee.
Now, we're going to try wing one, and as we try wing one, you guys can think about how you want to introduce yourself, what your role is in the community, and how you best serve the community. And with that, try wing one.
It's already too hot for me. Jesus Christ.
Starting off spicy right away for Corey.
James with the Dickinson Press and the editor of the Dickinson Press. My current role is to manage the newsroom and help our newsroom direct what stories we're going to cover, what stories we aren't going to cover. And then we see our role as trying to keep the community informed as best as we can on what's going on in the community, from sports to education to city government and crime and
Even while taking heat sometimes from the citizens as well.
Yep.
Pun. Sheriff Corey Lee. I've been in law enforcement here in Southwest North Dakota in Dickinson, Stark County for about 21 years. Obviously, we spend a great deal of time trying to integrate law enforcement into the public and the community. So, kind of the focus I took when I got elected 7 years ago was obviously creating a brand for our department. Not only that, but also, like I said, merging law enforcement and the community together and creating that good relationship that I think has been lacking in the sheriff's department for many years. So,
yeah, just getting everybody involved and having positive relationships with the schools and the citizens.
Yes, and I hate hot shit, for the record.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, question 2. What is one of your favorite perks of living in good old Dickinson? And what is one thing you would change if you could? And wing 2.
So good.
Corey, you do opt to give me one of your wing just because.
Oh, really?
Yes, I will take one of your wing.
Okay. I'll try to be a man and make it through. We'll see.
You want to take this one first?
Sure. That one wasn't as bad as the first one, for some reason. What was the question again? I'm terrified by these wings.
What is one of your favorite perks of living in the community of Dickinson?
Oh, yes. Obviously, in Southwest North Dakota, I think we're so very, very blessed. There's nowhere that I would rather be a law enforcement officer other than not only North Dakota, but Southwest North Dakota. I think we even see, as you go from west to east in North Dakota, there's a big shift in political beliefs and things like that. That aside, I mean, just the people here are so frickin' fantastic. It's unbelievable. It's if I go out to eat in uniform, it's 50% of the time I don't pay for my own meal. I mean, people are just amazing, and they'll come up and say thank you for what you do. And really, the fact of the matter is, I'm not patting my own back, but I'm a pretty humble person, and I believe we all make the world go round. So when you come up and say thank you for what you do, I always ask them what they do and thank them for what they do, because it takes all of us to make this a successful society. And,
Absolutely.
And we all make the world go round. So,
What is one thing you would change?
I don't know that I would really change much here. God, we have it so good here. Certainly there's. I've approached the legislature about numerous things in law enforcement. One of them being the benefits program that we have. I think you get to a certain age, you probably shouldn't be working the street anymore in law enforcement, and it's just not physically a healthy thing, or mentally, for that matter. So I tried to develop a program through, again, North Dakota State Legislature that would pay for our health insurance from retirement at age 55 to Medicare at age 65. That failed, unfortunately, but something I tried to do rather, they came out with what was called a Back to Blue program, which, thank you, the legislative body in North Dakota, but that really isn't beneficial as far as I'm concerned, the way they're doing it. So I was hoping they would put that money into this other idea and do something a little more proactive for our people, but it didn't work out. So
Yeah, so for me, I grew up in rural South Texas, and so, as a kid, we'd be driving down the back roads, and every vehicle you passed was waving at you, and people were kind of, Mayberry, so to speak, right?
Yep.
And then throughout my career, I've kind of been in different places across the country, and it's not like that everywhere.
Yep.
And when I came up here in North Dakota, one of the things that really kind of stood out for me was just how nice the people are. Literally, the day I drove into Dickinson, I pulled into a gas station, and I'm fumbling for my wallet, and I'm trying to get stuff, and I look up, and the cashier is like, "It's on. You're going to turn the pump on before I pay?" And that's just the type of people that you have in Southwest North Dakota and North Dakota in general.
Yep.
And so it's one of the things that I like about this community is just the kindness and the accepting nature of people here. And if I could change something, I would. I'd like to see more people get involved in their community. I mean, there's already an outpouring of people that are involved, in a bunch of organizations, and they're doing some great stuff. But I'd like to see more younger people getting involved. I'd like to see, an environment where we have well-informed young people getting out there and trying to find solutions to problems that we may have in this community. And that'd probably be the one thing I would change.
And if I may,
Absolutely.
and James touched on that. And James and I are a part of a lot of the same civic organizations, and I make it a point to be on as many boards and things as I can handle, and whatever we can do to affect positive change in our community. And I think one of the things we could change, now that I had a chance to think about it while James was talking, if we could somehow get rid of the negativity on What's Up Dickinson, that would be fantastic, because it kind of cancels out a lot of the positive things that we try to do in the Sheriff's Department, other things. So.
And you had mentioned having lived around a lot, like what's, besides the nice people, like what's one of your favorite other pieces about Dickinson that really stands out, that's unique here that you didn't see elsewhere?
Yeah, so just the access, being able to go in and talk to the manager of the bank, to pick up a phone and be able to speak to the sheriff of the county, or the mayor, or this commissioner or that commissioner. Just the access that we've been fortunate to be able to have, just shows the type of community it is, where people really do want to hear what you have to say, listen to your ideas, address any issues as best as they can. And that access is something you don't see everywhere.
Okay.
Usually, the mayor is in an office somewhere, or, the state representative is, 5 layers of interception away from being able to reach out to them. And here it's a phone call, or it's running into them at a Kiwanis event or a Chamber of Commerce golfing outing. And
I think another thing we could change probably is maybe have a professional podcast where we didn't have to do stupid things.
That's a silly idea.
Good segue.
All right, with that, what do you guys do to foster trust and transparency within the community? And with that, wing 3.
You didn't feel that.
How are they, Corey?
Fantastic.
Man, that's wing 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a problem.
I'm so excited for later this evening. I can't wait.
And we had heard, James, you like spicy? Or liked spicy at
I
one point?
liked spicy. So we were just talking about how I fell in love with this part of the country and why I've decided to stay here is how great it is. But dietary wise, with the thick Neflas and the and
Don't be
the food that
don't be trashing Hefla.
yeah, the food here is so different from a lot of places I've been, and I've gotten used to it and I love it. And as a result, my spice level acceptance has gone down by quite a bit. Wing 3 is hot, but fostering trust. I think in both of our entities, that's an important aspect of what we try to do. Some do it better than others. For us, it's just being transparent.
Cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, for sure. We have most of the time we have a young newsroom. We're not going to be hiring people that have 25 years of experience in journalism because they're going to be going to larger markets. They're going to be, chasing that dream, whatever that dream may be. So a lot of times we're getting young reporters who are trying to build a resume. They're trying to learn. They have their degree, but now it's putting that degree in practice. And as part of that process, there's going to be mistakes. Some more severe than others. And, it's a part of that learning process. And I guess to foster trust in the community, one of the things that we try to do is just be open and honest about those mistakes. Putting out a follow-up article saying, hey, initially we reported this, further clarification was this. And it is rare, but it does happen. And I think running away from that would be,
detrimental
to fostering that transparency. So
As we progress, you need to be more quick with your answer. My lips are burning.
no, my goal is to continue talking so that he gets the burn.
Again, transparency is a very cliche word, but in today's society, but it's very true. And a lot of, I guess, in my facet is keeping your promises. You ran on a platform, you keep those promises, and one of them was approachability. I said I'll be out in the public constantly. Everybody will have my phone numbers, and they do for the most part. Got 3 of them, so just always being available. And you'll see that a lot with politicians. You can't reach them, or you can't talk to them, or they're just unapproachable. Period. So that was a lot of it. But I think when I counted the other day, I had 32 things that we had accomplished that I had wanted to change in the community, in our department especially. And it's just a lot of it was just little things. Like, we don't see you guys, when I was first running in 2018, we don't ever see the sheriff's department around our area. Well, I kind of changed a lot of things around the department. So not only are patrol guys able to be out there and be patrol guys, I also made our vehicles black and orange, so when they're out there, you ain't gonna miss them. You're gonna see them. So we're not trying to hide. We're not trying to, sneak up on anybody, so to speak, in that aspect. Obviously, there's times we are, but it's about sticking to your word and listening to people and being there. So.
Well, you had obviously worked for the Dickinson PD in your past as well. What's the biggest difference for you now being a elected type of official more than hired as an officer?
Well, there's a saying among sheriffs, but it's in law enforcement. It's even more so among sheriffs. It goes, you never know how heavy the badge is until you put it on, and the weight of it is staggering once you do. And I never really got that. I'm third generation law enforcement. I have my grandfather's brother was killed in the line of duty in St. Paul. Grandfather was with Jamestown. My dad was with Ward County up in Minot. Marshal service after that. And so I've been around it my entire life. But until you get into it, you really, even riding along and seeing that and growing up around cops my entire life, which is why I don't hang out with them now, by the way, you don't get it until you actually get out there and do it. And then when you switch from the two different worlds, the police department and sheriff's department, it's really so much more different than you think. and again, my dad was in the sheriff's department for years, and it just, our job duties are a lot different, first of all, and in the police department, I had a whole different role. I was a canine handler for 14 years, and out there running and gunning and doing all that stuff. Well, this is a more administrative spot. Well, I can't handle sitting at that desk all day, so I'm out in the public and community and still doing traffic stops and all that other stuff, serving papers and all that stuff. But obviously the police department doesn't get into civil process and protection orders and all the stuff that we have to serve. And you talk about doing an eviction. I mean, that's one of the most dangerous things we do in law enforcement, is telling somebody they can't be in their residence anymore. And obviously we try to avoid that at all costs, especially when you try to adhere to the Constitution. But there's a time and place for everything, and it's definitely more, I think we get into, at times, more dangerous things. Not saying the PD doesn't, because obviously they go to more calls than we do, and more.
Yep.
Shush. Are you making in front of my hand gestures? We'll get in those arguments, but I can tell you from experience, and I worked the oil boom when I was in blue, so it's two different worlds, but we intersect a lot of it.
Well, with that, as we wing forward, what's the biggest misconception that people have about your work?
That we're made of steel and we're tough enough to eat hot wings. I think so stereotypes really piss me off, right? And I think there's a stigma that comes along with law enforcement, that most law enforcement officers are assholes and, very rigid and blah, blah, blah. And certainly there are. I mean, there's jerks in your line of work. There's jerks in your line. Is there cops that are jerks? Absolutely there are. But that, yeah. But that, I think that,
Don't know which to. I've been called worse.
that stereotype seems to follow around this profession a little bit more than most, I think. So.
What about you, James?
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception for what we do is that we have an agenda,
Shakes.
that we're trying to push a certain narrative, or we're trying to direct public opinion in one way or another.
Yep.
And the reality is, the only agenda I have is trying to get a newspaper out. The reporters go out, they talk to people in the community. A lot of the times, especially, we talked earlier about having younger reporters, a lot of the stories come from them being out in the community and talking to people, and then somebody will say something to them and it triggers, an interest in them, and they start to look into it, and then they present the story to me.
Yep.
We pitch it, we talk about it, how to be as objective as we can with it, and getting it out there. But a lot of people just have this conception that, like, if you're putting out an article, then it's because you're trying to influence people on this subject or that subject. Like, if we put an article out about chickens, then we're trying to influence the people to vote in favor of having chickens in Dickinson. And if we don't put it out, then we hate chickens.
Yep.
And all the people who have chicken, but
Clearly
the
you don't
reality
hate chicken.
Yeah, clearly we don't.
I do.
The reality is, he does. The reality is, we don't necessarily, we don't pick and choose. We just kind of cover what we cover, and we try to be as objective as we can. But a lot of people just have that misconception that we're pushing something.
Yep. Yep. Or that you're picking the most negative things to report about.
Exactly.
That's the one
Yeah.
you typically see in news.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, the next question. What is one of the things you'd love to see change in our community in the next 5 years?
And don't forget that
With
wing
that-
5.
5 years for Wing 5.
Well, that got on my lip.
You'll regret that.
it's interesting to be on this side, being the one getting asked the questions instead of asking questions. Yeah, so for me, I would love to see more opportunities, kind of echoing what I said earlier, just more opportunities for younger families to be able to come into this community, more housing opportunities that are at affordable rates that can attract that young couple with, 2 kids who are going to go to, Dickinson Public Schools. Mom's going to get a job in the community, dad's going to get a job in the community. They're going to be, productive members of the community. And instead of coming here, sometimes I think that they're attracted to other places.
Corey, you look like you didn't like that stuff.
Back of the throat.
Well,
So
will you wrap it
he's
up here?
He's almost there, so I'll continue. What? I think it was Robert Frost who once said, yeah, that's it. It just having more opportunities for young people to come into the community and become a part of the community.
Agreed.
Housing is a big issue.
What about you, Corey?
Oh, this is gonna be
I'm getting
good.
physically warm now after that
This is
one.
gonna be good.
That one was not a.
That's actually one that most people like.
Yeah, the flavor's great.
Yeah.
The spice level. There's a ramp up between these
I
two.
feel like I got
that's
COVID
it.
in the last minute. But
I'm pretty
Temperature,
sure
body
Sylvia liked
temperature
that one. The Scotch bonnet.
Yeah.
In the next 5 years, obviously there's a lot of turbulence and turmoil in our community right now. I just would like to see us clear that up and again,
Come back to some reasonability.
yeah, I kind of an interesting. I'm going to go rogue here. This is screwing up my brain, but my mother's a hippie, so just bear with me. And my parents are raging liberals, so it's surprising how I am how I am. But I'd like the two factions of society to finally come together and find some happy middle ground. If we're talking politics or whatever, but it just seems like that's kind of how we're split up in our community. And
You get the too far extremes.
if we could just meet in the middle, a little bit more in society, I think we'd all be far happier. So,
All right. So with that, describe a time you had to think on your feet and how it turned out, besides this time.
And enjoy that wing 6 there, Corey.
got the shakes. That's just tastes terrible.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's the one.
All right, now it's
the
getting
bourbon
real.
maple.
Yeah.
Now it's getting real.
You're up first.
Fuck me. I don't remember what the fuck you guys just asked me.
A time you had to think on your feet.
on my feet, yes. Right now. Obviously, in this profession, there's been hundreds or more of times.
Any that are memorable?
I don't like to. I told some stories last night that I want to tell today, but they're totally inappropriate. So, my brain right now is popping, which is not working properly, by the way, is popping back to a canine training. I had just had shoulder surgery, literally just 2 days before this, got my arm out of the sling, so my arm's still worthless. We're training dogs on some dope work. Long story short, the guy has his dog off lead in the courthouse in the basement, and the dog runs upstairs, runs back down. So I see it coming at me. I know exactly what it's thinking. I've been doing this for 20 years, It's like, oh, fuck, here it comes. And so I tuck my bad arm against the wall. Dog comes up, hits me, bites me in the leg, and then comes off for like a split second. I'm like, okay, he found his bearings, and then he really full mouth, boom. And when that happens to you in training, wherever body part it is, you can't scream, you can't yell, you got to just stay calm. So I grabbed his collar, I pulled him close to me, so he couldn't yank and jerk me. And of course, I'm trying to protect my bad arm, so I can't do the things that normally I would have really.
Punch it.
I would have beat the snot out of that dog. But he's got me, and so I look up at the handler. I said, "So and so, come grab your dog," and he's frozen. He's looking at me. I'm like, "Dude, come grab your fucking dog!" And out of irony, we had had a little training session that morning. So the guys had been using bite sticks all the time. And that's a stick you stick in the dog's mouth, you push on his tongue, and he pops off the bite. So on the street, a lot of times people will be fighting your dogs, and then everything's on video in today's world, right?
Yep.
So you're screaming at your dog, out, 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 out. Well, every time you say out, there's another $10,000 on the check, So you tell him to out, or you physically lift him off, or even looks better if you just stick this tool in his mouth, pop him off. Right when you say out, boom, done. Everything's golden, Like I said, you're on the bad guy for 2 minutes telling your dog out as he's mutilating him more. It's not good. And a lot of places, especially Minnesota, have written, I can't talk, no fucking shit, have written a lot of big checks. So again, ironically, I told him, we're at training. Train the right way. You train to verbally out your dog. So he comes over and he's trying to verbally out his dog because I just chewed him about it this morning. His dog's not coming off. Well, then he tries to lift him off instead of using the bite stick that I just told him not to use that morning, which he absolutely should have used it in that scenario. So he picks his dog up. Well, he dumps me on my frickin' shoulder on the hard floor, and it was a bad day. But it could have been a lot worse if I didn't maintain my composure and just stay calm. But
what about you, James?
Not that cool. So this last election, we had, I don't know, something like 9 different races we were covering in Dickinson, Killdeer, Southwest North Dakota. And then as part of our corporate offices, we were also covering some statewide races.
Okay.
So every reporter had 3 or 4 articles that had to be done. And the goal was to have them out within 20 minutes of a race being called.
Okay.
So we're trying to think of, how do you approach that? Because that's a lot of stuff that has to happen. So we come up with this brilliant plan on how we're going to do this, and everything's put into effect, and then literally the polls close, and we're watching the clock, and the results are coming in, and it's time to start getting to work, and our internet goes out at the press. And so it was like a mad dash of kind of figure it out, like find Wi-Fi, get to the courthouse, run back and forth. And it was just a lot of, in the process, thinking of how we're going to do this, getting on the phone, calling into people, having them publish your article from, Jamestown.
You're a Marine for 12 years, and that's just the story you tell?
Yeah, for my current job, that's thinking on the feet. Past job, there's been many, many, many times. But yeah, so it's just kind of one of those things where the next morning everyone woke up and the results were in the paper and no one thought about it. But it required a lot of younger reporters having to think on their feet on how,
how to get it done.
transcribing an article over the phone to somebody who's writing it in Jamestown so that we can get it published.
Yeah.
It was a on the feet thinking type of moment, I guess you could say.
And as the Dickinson Press, what is your guys' typical service boundary?
So we cover, I guess north, we cover to the top of Dunn County.
Okay.
South, west is Bowman. We go down to Bowman. East, we don't go that far. We go to Richardson Taylor.
Okay.
Okay, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Actually, I guess Mott would be a little further.
Shut the fuck up.
Mott would be a little further. So yeah. Mott, and then south would be Hettinger.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I love you.
You guys mentioned Fostering positive relationships. What's some unique ways that your department, Sheriff Lee, or your business is the Dickinson Press? What's some unique ways you guys go about doing that? And with that,
About foster.
Wing 7.
I wasn't listening. About. You have to say that again. Oh, that one's wet. Are you licking your fingers?
Getting it all. So the Dickinson Press, what we do to try to engage with the community is just being involved as much as we can, whether that be sponsoring things like the Medora Musical or hosting community events like the Women's Expo, or being a part of just different organizations, Rotary, Kiwanis, the Chamber, doing whatever. we can.
There's frickin' delayed reaction with these bastards.
Yep, that's how we foster relationships. Your turn.
What about you, Corey?
Yes, stop touching my face.
Shit, that one's hot.
I touched on it earlier a little bit. That was my game plan going into this position, and I get a lot of, sometimes from older members of the community. I get a lot of grief sometimes because they expect law enforcement to look like this and be this, and it's old, the old school thought.
Yep.
And certainly I have a lot of that in me from my upbringing, but. But, you have to adjust with the times. Like law enforcement, there's a lot of different expectations for us now. And community involved, I call it sustained interaction. I believe if we have sustained interaction, positive sustained interaction with our youth, that goes a long way. Kids remember that. And it helps as we progress. We're going to be dealing with some of these kids in the future if they remember me or whoever and are able to come up and have that conversation. I don't know how many times that I see people that I had arrested for drugs with my dogs or whatever come up to me now in their mid-20s or some of them are 30s even, thank me,
Yep.
and have that positive, what I consider a positive interaction, thanking me and all that. One step further, now you got me talking to him. I'm just talking to him, trying to ignore the pain. One thing I do every month is I take Myra, our emotional support dog. That was one of the other things we instituted to try to bridge some things in the public. It's so much easier to have an interaction with children when you have that canine with you, right? So we go to Heartview at the first Wednesday of every month. I'm going to die. The first Wednesday of every month, and I sit in their group, and it's been amazing, life-changing for me even, to sit and listen to these people with these addictions and other issues, and we have that nice, relatable talk, and they see that, hey, if I'm susceptible to some of these things, and
Yep.
if the sheriff is, then hey, life isn't so bad,
Cool story, bro.
Did you answer that?
Yeah, I answered that.
Okay, you're for it.
Yeah, I said we're a part of Kiwanis.
Okay. I'm ready.
You ready?
Oh yeah. I was ready. Okay. Share a quirky. Share a
Just
quirky
call it
fact
quirky?
about a quirky fact about Dickinson that everyone should know about. And with that, Wing 8, remember what I tell y'all if y'all could.
This is the bad one. What was the question again before I touched it?
Share a quirky fact that everyone should know about Dickinson.
Quirky fact.
Oh, you done dumped it in your mouth.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Burning my eyes.
That tastes like dog food.
Smoked dog food.
When did you eat dog food?
I've been pulled.
And I've eaten dog food. What?
I'm trying to tell you, you hide too much. They always do that.
Oh, fuck me.
I was trying to tell you. That was way too big. He was a trooper, though. He was a trooper.
That's what she said.
Did not.
Eat more of that.
No,
You went light on that one, James.
I did go light on that one. I was like, I'm gonna go light on this one.
Why'd you remind me?
Good call.
Turn a little red over there.
I was going so well, I thought I had it handled.
Who's up first?
Oh,
Is it you or me? It's you.
Give me that little guy over there.
Oh man. All right, this is dumb.
Yes! Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm glad I ate mine before you guys ate yours.
and it only gets worse.
Oh man, that was real dumb.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm hating it.
It's worse when you exhale.
Breathe deep.
Wait till
Holy
you kiss
shit.
someone.
Oh, the internet lied. This does not work.
This
Quirky
is
little
the dumbest thing anyone ever could ever do.
Quirky fact about Dickinson.
Are you alive over there, Corey?
Feel it. I feel it for you.
Yeah, let me think about that.
Some heavy breathing over there.
Its original name was Pleasant Valley Siding or something like that. I don't know.
A sauce or like a business?
No, the original name of Dickinson
Oh.
was something like Pleasant Valley Siding or something. I don't know. Pleasant Siding. Yeah,
We'll take it.
that's my quirky fact.
The Lion House is haunted.
That sounds like a well-known fact.
That's like OC spray to the mouth.
All right, well, we'll go to the next one then. The most surprising or unexpected experience in your role.
With that,
With that, wing 9.
What?
Oh, wing 9 already?
I mean, we could sit here and wait on wing 8 if
Let's
you
go to
want.
wing 8 again. We can do 8 again.
This actually is helpful.
Let me
thought
chase
that-
it.
No.
What flavor is it, Corey?
Strawberry banana.
I've had bad luck with strawberry banana.
I feel like I kissed Satan's butthole.
Don't know how to respond to that.
So I guess the most surprising thing actually happened not too long ago. I was at home. My cell phone
Did I
rang.
not take a bite of this yet?
Wing 9's better than wing 8.
Yeah, go for it. My cell phone rang and it said White House. And I said, yeah, okay. And I muted it and then got a voicemail. So I figured, okay, let me check. And it was like, hi, my name's Sarah, whatever. I'm with the Vice President's office. And it was for the recent Vice President's trip.
Okay.
And it was like 9:30 at night. You don't expect to have your cell phone say White House. But I called them back and they were like, yeah, there's going to be a media junket with the Vice President. you need to do a full background check
Yep.
and all that. So that was probably the most surprising thing that's happened because,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's an interesting phone call to get, you know. It's not that there's a fire in town or something crazy happened. It's
And you guys went
The White
out there
House.
personally too, yourself.
yeah, I got to go out there, so it was interesting. It was surprising, unexpected.
I know that laugh.
You dying over there, Corey?
I got the. What was the question? I don't have a clue.
Most surprising or unexpected thing.
Oh,
Winning?
can I tell the story I told, the Gabriel story, or is that inappropriate?
No.
Oh.
That's inappropriate.
Is that inappropriate? Oh yeah, I told last night. I don't think it's that inappropriate.
We can beep it out if we have to.
Well, it's just, I mean, obviously again, with the job, there's so many different calls, especially during the oil boom, there was a plethora of did you like that? Of completely ridiculous things. One, are children going to watch this? I mean,
I mean,
Anybody could watch it.
yeah, anyone can watch it.
okay, I won't tell that story.
I mean, the fire department had an interesting story too.
Yeah, the fire department had some nasty ones. So.
Yeah, you just come across a lot of different things that maybe as a North Dakota boy you're not ready for, and I'll tell the one from the. Can I tell the one from the Oasis?
Sure.
So I think this was maybe I was a year or two in, and I had gotten a call to go to the Oasis, and when it was a hotel, long before Blue Hawk Square was there. I'm freaking dying, and this gal that managed it was a little older. She was ready for retirement, and she says, "Corey, I knew her obviously." Been in town for a year or two at that point, and obviously I'm a chatty Cathy. And she said, "I've got a problem. My night clerk has been watching animal porn." And I'm like, okay. Like what? Shh. And like, what are? And I'm intrigued at this point. And like, what exactly are we talking about here? And she says, well, it's a video of a woman having sex with an elephant.
Okay.
Of course, my mind is going, and right now I'm thinking, is animal porn even illegal? Like, I've never come across this. I've been a cop for a year or whatever at this point. So I called my sergeant, Dan Brown. I said, hey, Dan, if you're watching. Hey, Dan, is animal porn illegal? And he's like, fuck, I don't know. It's like, take the report and we'll figure it out. So I'm like, okay, ma'am. I called her by her name, but I'm not going to say her name. What exactly we're talking about? And she tells me again, like, okay, well, now I have to physically see it. I don't want to see this, but she's like, okay, I'll play it. So she plays it. I go around and I'm watching on the screen. This is the old school computer, you know, so it's kind of the screen's flashing a little bit too. Looking at it, I'm like, okay. So come back around. I look at her, and she's got the little glasses notches on her nose. I said, ma'am, you wear glasses by chance, don't you? I've seen you wear glasses before. Yeah, I forgot my glasses tonight. I'm like, okay. Well, what you're looking at here is a rather endowed man having sex with a woman, and she thought it was an elephant trunk.
Not see that. Not even.
Oh my gracious.
And on that note,
I want each of you, what's the most surprising thing that you've experienced either in your job or doing the show, like that has been kind of an interesting aspect of doing what you do?
It's not so fun, is it?
Yeah, flip the script.
I was waiting for somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Today. I'm just a guest, so.
What about you? What's,
Yeah, so before I actually worked with the city, just working in IT in general, it was actually surprising the number of people that actually watch that sort of material on work computers, which blew my mind at the time. I was just getting into IT and that. So yeah,
my God.
those are the surprising things you come across. The number of times people joke about it in the police department, that just because you're IT and they know you see everything, type thing. But
Yeah.
on the show is actually the almost morbid sense of humor that we get out of the law enforcement side of things, the fire side of things. But yeah. What about you, Lana?
what about you?
I'd say almost the exact same thing. It's the amount of people who try to hide things from your system admin, thinking they don't see, which you do try to ignore some of it. There's a lot of things you don't. I see what you see. It gets flagged. We know you're seeing this. Please stop.
Yeah.
I think it'd just be one of those things too that it does get seen.
The number of people who think they'll get away.
Yeah, I think they can delete their history and it's not going to get seen. It's still
Delete the cache. And
Yeah, you
it's
can
all
delete your
good.
cache, you can delete your cookies all day long. It still came across the switch. It still came across the network. It still is getting flagged.
Unbelievable.
Super nerds. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing.
You got to open your eyes, buddy.
Hey, sometimes you don't need to.
What was the story you were going to tell?
Oh, you want that story? That story got to wait till we finish off the Wing 10. Pretty good story, too.
All right.
Just in case you need to.
Well, what's the biggest piece of advice you could give somebody, obviously getting into law enforcement or getting into the press? What's that piece of advice you could give them? And with that, try Wing 10.
Going big.
Might as well off the mouth right off. Another one.
At this point, I don't think I can taste.
There you
It's not
go.
going to matter anymore. Well, it'll matter in about 2 hours. Oh,
That one's not that bad.
Oh, that one wasn't too bad.
to be honest, when kids approach me, typically with their parents, or their parents come up, hey, so-and-so wants to be a cop when he gets older, or she wants to be a police officer. I always tell them to be a doctor or a lawyer, first of all. Make more money. And have less issues. Maybe not come on stupid shows like oh, fuck, I'm burning. But even bigger piece of advice I would have is to stay here in Southwest North Dakota if you are going to be a cop.
Yeah, we could use them.
I mean, not only can we use them, but like I said before, earlier on in the show, the community here is so unbelievable. And you can't go other places and have that. I don't think I could go to Fargo and have them try to kill me with a hot wing, however. But, oh, that one was hot. That one was almost the worst.
What's the last one?
Yeah.
The last dab I mixed with
Queen Majesty.
Okay.
But, yeah. This is, stay in North Dakota would be my biggest advice if you want to go into law enforcement or be a first responder in general.
What about you, James?
Not to do it. No, if somebody was interested in wanting to go into journalism, to just understand that it's a lot of late hours, a lot of days, holidays, weekends, and the pay is across the country really not that great. But my advice would be to just show up, care about the community that you're covering, and be involved, and be consistent, be reachable. Get out and about, do programs like this so that you can reach different audiences and
Yep.
and read a lot. I think some of the best writers are people who read a lot, and it doesn't have to be, you know, traditional American literature, right?
Yep.
Like it could be magazines that you're into or whatever, but diversifying what you read and
Yeah,
just
different writing styles.
yeah,
different
seeing
reading
how
styles.
different people write, seeing a way somebody worded something and being like that, I like the way that was worded. How can I kind of add that to my tool belt? And then just stay up to date on what's going on, you know, in the community in terms of laws or ordinances being passed, and be well informed as you can.
Yep. I have to slip this question in here because Corey mentioned he really wanted it, but it didn't make the initial piece there. If you could write a headline about your co-star here, what would it be, and kind of how would you frame that?
Sheriff Lee.
First of all, shut up. First of all, shut up.
First
First of all, I would. I was going to say I would, however I could crucify you on there, but I'm too nice of a person. I would never. It's funny. James and I had a conversation years ago, and we kind of met in a weird. I pulled the best prank in the police department history years ago, and I won't talk about it on here. But he was interviewing me during my first election, and he thought I was going to be deceitful about it, and I was very upfront and honest and laughed. And I said, "You were in the military, like, you know, that was freaking hilarious." He's like, "Yeah, that actually was a good one." But I told him years ago, I said, you know, there's going to be times when you screw up, there's going to be times when I screw up. Don't ever hold back, man. You got to do your job. I know we're friends, but do what you have to do, man. I will never, ever hold it against you. I didn't think he would take it as literally as he did and write award-winning stories on my greatest mistakes, but he did, and I'm glad you were
Yeah.
successful on my behalf.
Well, that was one of the things we talked about a long time ago, you know, is the same way I expect him, if I'm drinking and driving or doing something illegal, to do his job and arrest me. Likewise, you know, the expectation should be that I'm going to do my job, which is to keep the public informed on whatever's happening, good, bad, or otherwise. And one of the things I do respect about Sheriff Lee is, over the years, there's been the good, the bad, and the otherwise. And we've reported on it all.
Yep.
And yeah, have won some awards off of our illustrious sheriff here. So pretty happy about that. But no, he's never held a grudge, and I appreciate that. As far as the headline goes, I think it would be Sheriff Lee seeks to ban anything spicier than mayonnaise following podcast visit.
Well, before we end it here, did you guys have a favorite sauce and a least favorite sauce?
I still want to hear the story.
Oh no, it's after. And then close it up.
I lost my memory after Wing 6.
The first three, like I said, I can't stand hot. That's the last frickin' thing I ever want to eat. And the first three, actually, whatever's on them tasted relatively good. And after that, it's been
After that's been fire.
stupid.
I guess mine. Ben's 701 sauce.
It's out of West Fargo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ben's then for you.
There you go, Ben. Good shit.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go with the Burble. I can't even say it. Burble. Bourbon Maple Reaper.
Yep.
You like that one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that one was good.
What is it?
What was your least favorite?
Least favorite.
Well, everyone's least favorite.
The bomb.
The one I took the biggest bite of. That was
I
my
can't
favorite.
believe you did it.
Well, either way, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us. We'd like to thank the audience online. Obviously, like, subscribe, follow us, and just let us know in the comments below what you'd like to see, or if you guys have people you'd like to recommend us take.
It's
we'd love
coming
to hear
for
it.
sure. Absolutely, yeah.
You guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
you.
us.